Hello, I am Steven, the calculator guy, and today we're going to talk about ICE and Popsicle finance. So this is one of the most requested topics alongside spell, and so let's get into it. So Popsicle finance aims to be a market maker, the biggest market maker in DeFi, a cross-chain market maker. Danny likens his vision for Popsicle finance to that of Citadel or Alameda, two of the largest financial market makers in CeFi, or non-crypto. So what does this do? Well, basically this interacts with other liquidity pool protocols, particularly Uniswap v3, which is a powerhouse of liquidity. So if you look at this, right, let's not talk about capital efficiency. The basic idea is that this system, V3, can provide liquidity with up to 4,000 times capital efficiency relative to V2, which was still pretty good, earning higher returns on their capital. So what you need to understand from this is that Popsicle Finance will be able to take your LP and dynamically direct it to where it is needed most to yield the highest possible fees in all of the DeFi space accessible to Popsicle Finance, which may be on the Phantom network, maybe on the Binance Smart Chain network, maybe on the Ethereum network, to yield you the greatest return via fees. So this is really cool. And concentrated liquidity is essentially, instead of creating a massive spread of liquidity, you create a spread of liquidity within a certain price range, and if the price action stays within that range, you are collecting substantially more fees. And so if Popsicle Finance is able to have its protocol dynamically concentrate your liquidity, then your yield for investment is going to be remarkably higher than you would see on V2. So very excited about this. Definitely. There's a lot about V3 that I don't understand, but the bits that I sort of understand, I am super excited for. So let's just look around here in this space. So if you don't know, Popsicle Finance was hacked when it first released, and a lot of money was lost, and later on Danny repaid all of that money, which is incredible. Now Danny has said he has sort of PTSD and is making sure that every single thing is absolutely perfect and safe. So they rebuilt the entire thing from scratch, even the UX. They have audited it multiple times. They have people checking out all of the math, all the code, all of the everything. And he's not going to launch it until it's ready. But he did say it will or should launch in the next few days. So what can we see now? We can sort of see these frajola. You know, my Italian is not that great. These sorbetto pools, I believe the sorbetto limona pools will be the ones that have cross-chain compatibilities. But, you know, it's going to be just like any pools you would expect. You're going to go in there, you're going to provide half and half if you want to join proportionally, and you can claim on your fees. So this is going to be very interesting to see how dynamically this works, and I wonder if there's going to be any UX that tells you how it's working. That would be pretty cool. I also like that it tells you the price of each, which you don't usually get with a lot of pools. APR, pool earnings 24 hours, total earnings to date, or total earnings last re-range time. So this is going to be interesting. I think the re-ranging has to do with the concentration of liquidity. But, you know, I'll have to read more about that. If that is, though, then we would see how frequently we're getting a re-ranging of the token, the LP token. All right, so that's Sorbetto, just a bunch of pools. Then you have the stand, which is two pools, ICE ETH on Uniswap, ICE ETH on SushiSwap. And they have a place to harvest your rewards from these pools, presumably, which are kind of like farms then, I guess. So that's basically it. Now, what can we predict? So there's another thing you can do, which is stake your ICE to yield the fees that people are going to pay when utilizing this service. Now, this is the same as Spell. So when people utilize abracadabra.money, there are some small fees associated, some oftentimes negligible fees. However, those fees get redistributed to Spell stakers. And in this case, the same thing is going to happen. Now, if you know anything about Spell, it has a $2 billion market cap and is about 3 cents. So it's equivalent. ICE for the Popsicle Finance protocol has a market cap of 600,000. So you may think here that there is some room for growth, particularly if this market cap reaches at or near or above the market cap of its counterpart on the Abracadabra money, 2 billion. So I think it's certainly a possibility. So there are two ways to sort of make money off of ICE. One is price appreciation. The other one is staking. And if you're staking, you're also getting price appreciation. Also, with your NICE, you can collateralize that and borrow against it. I think you can do that on abracadabra.money. If we want to just test that, you can go over to abracadabra.money. Also, a Danny protocol. Let's go to borrow. Oh, you can borrow against S Spell, but you can't, I guess, borrow against N ICE. So I guess not. Maybe you can't collateralize it yet. I would be surprised if that wasn't something that happened soon. Okay, so that's the basics of Popsicle Finance. It aims to be the largest market maker in all of DeFi. It aims to have the most dynamic and most efficient liquidity protocols in all of DeFi that will direct your liquidity to the place that they're most needed in order to maximize the yield on fees. It will, hopefully, if the plan and vision is actualized, be cross-chain, not only in that you can connect multiple chains to it, but in that you can deposit liquidity on one chain and the protocol may find a better use for that particular liquidity pool token on another chain, helping you quintuple, in some cases, the number of protocols from which you can derive the best yield. For example, if there is a protocol on Phantom that has a 1000% APY on a particular token, but you're on the Ethereum network where there's only like a 15% yield, the protocol may in the future, or maybe even sooner, utilize the token you're depositing on the Ethereum network for the large yield on the Phantom network, which would be super, super cool. All right, so I plan on doing a post-relaunch video as well, so we can sort of navigate around, look and see what's new, and if the vision was actualized, and if it is, I imagine the price of ICE will go up in relationship to the success of the protocol. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or corrections, because this is a pretty complex protocol, and it's late for me, so I'm a little bit tired, but if you have any comments or corrections, please leave them in the comments down below, and I will try to get to them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, also, I have a Patreon now. I will say that the Patreon will give you no benefit. So I am not monetized on YouTube, and I do not take sponsorships. So all my opinions are my own. But if you want to support my work, you can become a patron. I will post, sort of what I'm doing with my own financials every now and again, just so you can sort of look into the lens of how this crazy monkey decides to spend his money. But aside from that, I try to keep myself open to the public with my financials. That way you can also make similar decisions and are as informed as I am. So I'll drop a link down there. Again, no benefit to becoming a Patreon. You're only helping me justify making these videos. So thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.